This video will cover more details about the RFQ process with Alachua County Public Schools for real estate agent representation. The dates covered in this video will be from December 2018 to July 2019. So first, make sure that you watch Tina Certan's video about the RFQ process. I will link that to this post. Additionally, just to cover that background, we want to make clear that we believe that the RFQ process for determining a real estate agent for the school district was violated. On January 30th, Dan Drodos writes a draft letter for Paul White. Paul White then puts this letter on school board letterhead and sends a fully executed letter of interest to seller Peter Trematera on January 31st, 2019. The letter of interest did not reference an offer price. The offer price would be dependent on the appraisal value. In the state of Florida, 2 appraisals are necessary to acquire school property. On February 5th, 2019, Bosshart Realty receives email from Deborah Matchett that they had been chosen to represent the school district in the real estate transactions aligning with the RFQ that they had previously applied for. The very next day, Drodos and Riles' team listed the property for $4.2 million, just before the first appraisal. Before I address the details of the first appraisal, it's important to note that this appraisal was not shared with the public or with the school board until May 14th, 2020. This appraisal was ordered and performed and paid for in February 2019. On February 18th, 2019, the Emerson appraisal was ordered. This is the first of 3 appraisals that the school district ordered. The final report was submitted to the district February 27th, 2019. There are a few issues with this appraisal. First, the final report valued the land at $3.5 million. Keep in mind, this property sold for $1.85 million December 14th, 2018. So the value of this property grew $1.65 million in 2 months' time. So how did the value increase so quickly? Well, first, 2 of the highest price per acre parcels were selected as comps. These resulted in a $70,000 per acre price quote. On top of that, the appraisal gave value, 25% value, to entitlements attached to the value of the property. The issue is these entitlements had not occurred yet, and the school district does not need these entitlements because they are not building a subdivision which the entitlements would be prepared for. Quick definition. Entitlements are all the paperwork that are associated with developing a subdivision. This is all of the government paperwork which would take time and money to finalize. Dan Drodos, who at this time was still with Bosshart Realty but was transitioning to Colliers International, sent Paul White an email asking about the appraisal results. He also made sure to let Paul White know that the seller had another offer and was waiting on determining what the district would do to determine their next steps. We know on March 1st that Paul White was not happy that the entitlements were included in the appraisal. And he made sure that Dan Drodos knew this in an email. He said they didn't need to pay for the entitlements because they didn't need them, and that was also why they decided to try to approach the seller sooner as opposed to later before the entitlements were completed. He also stated that he believed the current number, which would be the price of the property, the $3.5 million, would be a bridge too far for the superintendent to accept. We have an email dated on March 5th from Dan Drodos to Paul White. Were you able to connect with the attorney about changing our contract as we discussed? Paul White responded the next day that yes, I did, we will be fine. What Dan Drodos is referring to is the contract of representation that Bosshart Realty had already with the school district in order to transfer it to Colliers International. On March 12th, Dan Drodos sent an email to a School Board of Alachua County attorney, Brian Moore. Brian, do you have time for a quick call with me sometime this week or next? I should have comments back to you shortly on our contract with SBAC, but I believe Paul informed you that our group has left Bosshart and joined Colliers International. We will need the contract updated to reflect our new entity, and I can get you up to speed on that. Dan. We have multiple emails between Dan Drotos and School Board of Alachua County staff renegotiating a brokerage contract that go all the way through April. This also includes influencing the RFQ process and the cone of silence. March 25th, 2019, Attorney Brian Moore emailed the Drotos Riles team and district staff informing them that Colliers International had not submitted a proposal for the RFQ regarding agent representation for the school district of Alachua County. May 16, 2019, Paul White emails Dan Drotos stating Colliers can submit a late proposal for the RFQ. The Colliers proposal was received May 22, 2019. The actual deadline for the RFQ was November 28, 2018. On July 19, 2019, Dan Drotos emails Colliers' standard commercial real estate services contract to Brian Moore. On July 23, 2019, Paul White submitted a consent agenda item to the school board meeting for approval for the real estate services and their ranking process. The final choice in their ranking process was Colliers number 1, Front Street number 2, and Bosshart number 3. At this point, what we have is a district administrator submitted false documents for the school board to vote on an approval. Paul White's documents in the consent agenda stated that the interviews for the real estate agents occurred on June 18, 2019. This is false. The interviews were January 14, 2019. Additionally, Colliers did not interview in this process. We have some quick takeaways for you. First, the School Board of Alachua County staff did not inform school board members of any of these processes until July 23, 2019, and keep in mind, not all of that was factual. There is no communication as well with the Oversight Committee. Furthermore, we also have documents that demonstrate that the School Board of Alachua County staff took additional steps in order to make sure the Drotos and Riles team was approved as the agent. This includes violating the RFQ protocol and falsifying documents submitted to the school board for approval and for the public to witness. The gist of this video is to point out that the school district of Alachua County was actively negotiating a land purchase while simultaneously negotiating an agent agreement for representation in the land purchase. This is a conflict with the RFQ. It's a conflict with order. Furthermore, the school district's management of this situation provided no opportunity for oversight by the elected members of the school board or the ballot-approved individuals from the Oversight Committee. My next video will address who represented the buyer, School Board of Alachua County, and who represented the seller, Peta Trematera, in this transaction.